Ohio State going to Washington. Boy, 8.5 point spread right here. A lot of casuals licking their chops. The public will be firing in on Ohio State, as the week rolls along. I don't know, man. This Washington team it's pretty darn good. They haven't had a chance against some really good teams to show that necessarily, and this will be their first opportunity, but it's at home in Seattle. I think that plays a huge factor in it as well. We saw what Ohio State did against Texas. You're like, oh, did you see that game? It's like, yeah, I think we were watching the same game. Like, it wasn't a super impressive looking Ohio State team. They have looked significantly more impressive the last couple weeks. 8.5 on the road against what I think is a pretty good team. That might be too much for me, CD. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, that line actually has moved in the direction of Washington. I think it opened over 10. Maybe that sharp money's coming in on Washington early on. But yeah, I think on the outskirts, like 10,000 foot view, if you are national or you're in the SEC or if you're in the Big 12 or ACC, and even if you're a Big Ten fan, not familiar with Washington and what the athletes and the type of team they have this year, and how dangerous they can be, how dangerous Seattle can be for opposing teams to come into, this is absolutely a spot here where we made sure we're previewing this game. This is one we've had circled, I think, for a while. We looked at Ohio State's schedule, and it's like, well, you get Texas and obviously Michigan and Penn State. Those are the ones that can be highlighted. But you got Washington on the road there. I get it, off a bye is huge. Absolutely huge, because you're going across the country, right? You want to be as fresh as possible. You want to make sure your team is not going to be falling asleep for that. You get the benefit of not having to play at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning your time, like some teams like Michigan State had to deal with last weekend, and other teams that have gone across the country have had to deal with and struggle. Also, it's not a night game, so that's helpful for you. I think it's like a 12:30 local time kickoff for him, so maybe a little bit less rowdy crowd, although it will still be fired up there in Seattle. Yeah, I'm this Washington football team, man. For all the love that Jeremiah Smith gets, deservingly so, let's give some love to Denzel Boston, man. He is incredible, incredible football player. Jonah Coleman also, what he does running the football, catching the football as well. And Demon Williams completing about 74% of his passes right now, 0 interceptions on the year. Also, what he brings with his legs as well. Those running quarterbacks, they give you fits, man. They give you fits. Ask Matt Patricia. I'm sure of it. He's probably, yeah, I'm not going to say he's more worried about this Washington team than Texas, but I'm sure he's absolutely losing sleep over what he has to deal with Jed Fish and this offense.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. And Ohio State has some absolute wagons. Like, and then do I worry uh, about this Washington defense? Not in the sense where like I think that they've been bad this year. In fact, I think that they look better than they did last year, at least from like an eyeball perspective. If you're Washington fans can agree, disagree, but we'll see. We will definitely see. Washington wins this game, by the way, CD. What does that mean for the Big Ten? Like, what does that mean? Because then you're looking at, like, oh, I look at the rest of Washington's schedule, and there's not a single team they can't beat. Sure, you got to go play Michigan right on the road. That's a tough game. Illinois, you get at home, but Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Purdue, UCLA, and then last game of the year, you play Oregon, but at home.
Yeah.
And we don't really know what Oregon's going to look like. We don't know enough about these teams yet. And some of these teams in the Big Ten, we don't know enough. Like, Washington wins this football game, CD, you are talking about flipping the entire Big Ten on its head. I'll take Washington plus 8.5. I think Ohio State will probably win this game, but that doesn't mean it won't be close up there in Seattle.
Yeah, last thing I'll say about, why Washington has a chance to not only cover but win. Julian Sayin also, first time on the road. First road start for him. Like that's obviously, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. You don't really know. Obviously, he played in a massive environment, a massive game already against Texas, so he has that big game experience under his belt. But going on the road for the first time, yes, he had a whole bye week to prepare for it, will help him, but I think that's worth noting and mentioning. The newfound rushing attack of Bo Jackson has been a revelation. That guy is a stud. He runs super, super hard. him and Donaldson and Peoples to keep each other fresh is a very nice compliment for Julian Saint, a very nice piece to have for, right, like our guy, right, the offensive coordinator there. Can't believe I'm blanking on his name. The former wide receiver coach for him.
Brian Hartline.
Thank you, Hartline. He is like that's big for him, first time play caller. Like nice to have a couple guys who can turn the ball around and just hand them the football. Obviously Smith and Tate and all those weapons and the just absolute nightmare that the receiving core and tight ends give opposing defenses. I'll go Ohio State minus 8.5. I'm very excited to see this game. Like this, I want to see them tested. I want to see their defense against Washington and Demon Williams. They should be fully healthy, just about. So like that, it's going to be really fun. I think we'll learn a lot about them, as we did against Texas. I think we learned with the big takeaway for me against Texas was, yeah, okay, yeah, no shit. They have all these athletes. Yeah, they're physical and fast, and holy cow, are they very, very well coached. Like I want to see, continue to learn more, continue to put the picture together about this football team.